Hey there, Aurelie here from withhisgifts.com. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. Today I have another video tutorial for you and we're going to create this lovely, very vintage and very romantic tag. So let's get started. The stamp set that we're using today is the Sew in Love stamp set. It is from the New Occasions catalog and it is a lovely stamp set. We'll also be using the Sweet and Sassy Framelits dies along with a couple of punches. We'll be using the classic label punch as well as the Festive flower builder punch. The ink pads that we're using today are the Crumb cake and the early Espresso. We'll also be using the Blushing Bride re-inker. For our paper, I have a piece of the Falling in Love Designer Series paper. It's cut at 5.5 by 9. This will be mostly for scrap, so exact measurement is not required, but approximately we'll be using this much of it. I also have a piece of the Crumb cake that is cut at 3 1/6 by 6 1/4 inches. Another piece of the Falling in Love Designer Series paper, also cut at 3 1/16 by 6 1/4 inches. I have a smaller piece of the Crumb cake that is cut at 2.5 by 2.5. A piece of the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper cut at 1.5 by 1.5. And then I have one of the new lace doilies. And some of the other things that we'll be using today are the liquid multi-purpose glue, bone folder, some snips, an aqua painter, spritzer. I will be using my Jewel Basic Pearls, some linen thread, some very vanilla lace trim, my sponge, and then some non-Stampin' Up items are my glossy accents, my handy dandy Tim Holtz distress tool, and we will be using the We Are Memory Keepers eyelet setter and hole punch, as well as the crocodile corner chomper. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We will also be using our Big Shot as well as our Simply Scored tool. And before we get started with the Big Shot, I'm going to go ahead and glue these two pieces together. And then while we use our Big Shot, we'll give these some time to dry and set. So let's grab our multi-purpose liquid glue and let's just get some glue onto the back like so. Alrighty, so then I'm gonna spread this out some and then just glue them together just like so, and then we're gonna set this aside for a second and then we're gonna grab our Big Shot. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Simply Scored tool first because there's one step that we need to do to the smaller crumb cake. We want to give it a corrugated look. So we're going to stick it in the corner here and then we're going to score it at every 1/16 of an inch. Just like so, all the way to the end. Okay, just like that. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way and then we are ready for our Big Shot. Okay, so here is my Big Shot. I have my magnetic platform down and then my cutting plate, my first acrylic plate. I have the piece of the crumb cake that we just scored, and I have the embossed side up, and then I have the small piece of the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer. We're going to go ahead and grab our Sweet and Sassy Framelits. And I have the two that I'm going to use right here. So they're handy dandy for me. The crumb cake gets the bigger heart. And then the dazzling diamond gets the smaller one. Okay, let's run this through. And there are our pieces cut and ready to go. I am going to go ahead and grab my distress tool, and we're just gonna distress. This is the only piece in this project that I'm using this tool for, if you believe that. It's true though. Just the heart, so carefully and gently go around it, just a little bit. So we can give it some texture. Okay, so there are our pieces ready for the next step. I'm going to go ahead and lay down a piece of my grid sheet here. The next step is to grab my crumb cake and a sponge. Okay. And then I am going to go over the top of my corrugated heart so that we could give them, the lines, some definition. Okay, like that. And then we'll go over the edge like that. And then also we will go over the edge this way. So what I'm doing is kind of just going and brushing my edge right onto my ink pad. Okay, like so. Okay, that is perfect. And then we can further, my fingernails are, sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not, but fingernails are an awesome tool for distressing paper. So you can further give it a little bit of distress, and then we are going to rough it up. Okay, so this is going to be ready and we're going to set it aside. Okay, and then this heart is going to get some distressing with the ink and the sponge. Okay, okay, so there's that. We're going to go ahead and set this aside. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our tag that we glued together. And now we have to give it the shape of a tag. Well, first, before we do that, no, I'm right. I am right. We're going to give it the shape. And for that, I'm going to grab my corner chomper. And I have a photo punch and an angle punch, and I'm going to use the angle punch. Okay, and that's just going to give me the diagonal cut in the corner here. You can use scissors or whatever tool you have that will do the job. So just like that. All right, and then our next job is we're going to grab and cut. So I'm kind of measuring just a little bit over my tag, like so, and then a little bit over on this side, and then I'm just ripping. Okay, I'm going to set this aside because we're going to need that later. But then I am going to kind of rip at an angle here, like that. Okay, because this is going to sit on the bottom here, and then this will sit on the top, like so. All right, so what we're going to do is kind of just the part where we ripped. We're going to go ahead and distress a little bit before we glue it down. Okay, then if we haven't already beat up this paper, we're going to further kind of beat it up. So let's just crinkle it up, okay? And then uncrinkle. Okay, like that. Same thing up here. Just go ahead and crinkle it up. Okay, so that looks beautiful, like that. I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside. Okay, and then for this next step, I need my re-inker and I need my aqua painter, and I'm using my Blushing Bride. I'm not using the ink though, so I just need somewhere to put my distress, or not my distress, my re-inker. So just a couple of drops, okay? Then with my aqua painter, I'm squeezing some water, okay? And what I'm going to do is just kind of flick it, like so. All right, okay. So moving on, let's get these beauties back in here. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to grab my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I am going to put some on the back of this paper. Okay, and then I'm going to squeeze some out into this corner. This is a messy project. If you're careful, you can walk away with clean hands, but then you would not have had any fun, right? Okay, so we're going to put it down. We're not stretching it out because we crinkled it up because we want it to be crinkled, okay? So let's not do a whole lot of stretching. Okay? Just make sure that it's good and sealed. Okay? Alrighty. So the next step is to go ahead and grab our snips so that we can cut the excess from around our tag. So we're going to do that now. We'll just cut all the way around following the outline of our tag, just like so. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And again, I'm going to use my fingernail to kind of roughen up my little edges around here. Okay. Alrighty. That's looking beautiful. Then I'm going to pick up my tag. I'm going to grab my crumb cake, and I am going to rub my edges around right onto my ink pad like we did before. And there's what we have so far. The next step is to go ahead and grab my lace doily and my sponge. I'm going to ink up my sponge, and then I'm going to give this some distressing. Okay, like so. Okay, so there's what that looks like. The next step is to get some glue, just a little bit, onto the back of this. And then we are going to go ahead and put this right onto this corner of our tag. And it is going to overlap, that is fine. Okay, we're going to press it down. The glue will ooze out, but that's fine because you know what? It is going to dry clear. Okay? And that is good. And then we're going to flip that over and make sure that we snip it. Here's what we have so far. So we're going to go ahead and get our crumb cake back, and we're going to redo these edges so that our doily is a little distressed around our edges, like so. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? I mean, you can go on forever layering a tag. You really can, and I probably would have had more layers if it wasn't time to pick up the children. So I had to kind of stop and then, you know, the thrill was gone, so it was finished, but it's beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and set this aside because the next thing that we're going to work on is this lovely flower that's gonna sit on top of our tag. And for that, we are going to, I'm gonna grab my craft sheet. Okay, there's my craft sheet. And we're gonna go back and grab the remainder of the Falling in Love DSP. And I am going to go ahead and grab my Festive Flower Builder. Okay? And I'm just going to use this petal here, and I need 10 of them. So we are going to use 10 of them. One, and I kind of start right at the edge, and then the piece that I've already punched, I push it in. That way there's minimal waste of paper. So we'll do this until we have 10 pieces. Okay, so there are our pieces, our petals. And then the next thing that we want to do is to grab our spritzer. Okay. And we will spritz them. Okay, so the next step is they are saturated, so we're going to gently pinch them together. We don't want to tear them. We just want to kind of roll them up like so. Okay, so gently pinch and roll. Okay, so all of my petals have been pinched and rolled. I'm going to go ahead and grab my heat tool. I did not mention that we would need a heat tool. We need a heat tool. And we're going to go ahead and dry these up. So, okay, so here they are. Next step is to very gently open them up. Okay, some of them may still be damp. Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and open all of these. Okay, and there are our petals. I did forget another thing. I used a 1-inch punch circle that we will need here for assembling our flower. So again, I'm gonna grab my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to just put some glue down. Just like so. Alrighty. And then I am going to put down my first petal, and then I'm going to come directly to the other side and put down my next petal. Okay. Then we're going to come off on this side here, like so. So we're going to form like a cross. Okay. Like that. So then these are going to go in between and a little bit higher than the ones that are there. Like that. Okay. Okay, and that's what we have so far. These two here, I probably didn't need them. I'll show you what I did with them, but it ended up getting covered up by our heart. But I just ended up kind of balling them up a little bit, putting some glue down. Like so, and then just putting them down in the middle to cover up. That's what I did with these two, but again, they did end up getting covered up by our heart, so probably wasn't necessary, but just so that I can show you what my intentions were for the 10 petals, okay? Because that's really pretty. See? Like that. Okay? So, we are going to, let's move this out of the way because I think we don't need it. Well, we do for a minute. Let's go ahead and add some color to our petals. Okay, so we're going to gently pounce on our petals. Woo! I am a woman of many words tonight. And then we're going to go ahead and just rub across our ink pad. Okay. Alrighty. That's looking gorgeous. Okay. And then we will continue to crinkle them up. Okay. Being gentle because I'm on video and I had a little more time to allow it to dry when I was not filming. So my glue is still a little bit wet, so I'm trying to be careful. Okay, so that's going to sit right about there. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I think we can move this out of the way. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do before we put that down is grab our linen thread, okay? And then, so I'll keep that there so I kind of know where I need to place it. So I am going to grab about 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe. 7, that's a good number. And then we'll snip with my right hand and hopefully I won't snip. Oh, thank you. I am left-handed and that right hand there is useless, so I am thankful that I still have my fingers. Alright, so I am going to put this down a little bit and I'm just gonna keep using my liquid glue because it's doing the job. And I'm just putting some glue down just like that. Then I am going to place this lovely little there we go. Okay, it does not need to be pretty, but it does not need to stick to your finger either. So liquid glue is good except when it gets onto your fingers. Okay, can we escape? I think we did. I think we did. Okay. Alrighty. Now, for my flower, I'm placing it onto my tag. I'm going to use glossy accents because it's just my go-to for flowers. It's what I know is going to make sure that flower stays put and doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so right about there. Okay, and then we'll hold it. And then it's going to take a few to dry. So no worries. Okay, alrighty. That is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Now, okay, I was going to say, where did my hearts go? I didn't know where my hearts went. Okay, so next thing, remember these? We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of glossy accent on the back of my glimmer, dazzling diamond glimmer. And then we're going to set that right on top of my corrugated heart. Okay? We then will go ahead and grab some dimensionals, which I also failed to tell you we were going to need. I thought I was doing good. Okay, so then we're going to flip this over, and I'm just putting one there, one there, and one there. Okay? Move stuff out of the way that we don't need in the way. Alright, I'm going to take my backings off, and then I'm going to set my heart atop my flower, like so. Isn't that gorgeous? Alrighty, we are almost there, my friends. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is to go ahead and punch my hole. And for that, I probably should just get a hole punch, but this does the trick. So I am using the, what size is this? 3/16? Yeah, the 3/16, okay? And I am going to eyeball where my hole should be. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, there we go. It's looking like a tag. It's looking like a tag. Alrighty, now my friends, we're gonna go ahead and grab my lovely pearls. Okay, and my hands are still sticky, so hopefully this will go smoothly. So we're gonna do the big, little, big, medium, little. So big, medium, and little. Okay, and there's that. And then the last thing that we have to do is to grab, I think about, I don't know, I think I grabbed about 14 inches of my lace trim. Okay, and how I did it, I put my loop in through the front, pulled it through the back, like so, and then I went ahead and looped it. Okay, so there's that, and then the next thing that we are going to need, and the final thing, just a scrap piece of vanilla, very vanilla, which I failed to tell you that we needed as well. So just a scrap piece of very vanilla, and then we have our stamp set, which is the happy anniversary. You can use any of these sentiments that you like. Okay, and then we're going to grab our early espresso. We're going to ink that up. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp it. Perfect. Alrighty, and then we will grab our classic label punch, and this is going to be a tight fit, but it fits kind of perfectly in there, so carefully align it so you're not chopping off any of your letters. Okay, like that. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll finish up with sponging our edges, just like that. Then we will put some liquid glue down the back. Careful. Okay, like so. And then this will sit right across the bottom, like that. And there you have it. Super duper easy, super duper quick, and super duper elegant. So make sure that you jot down the supply list down below, then head on over to my website at withhisgifts.com and place your order today so you can make these romantic tags at home. Also, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. Visit me at my website at withhisgifts.com and check out what I'm all about, and hit me up with any questions that you have. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video tutorial, please leave me a comment down below, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, thank you and have a great day.